So this is the 2023 GMC Yukon AT4, and I'm going to give my 6.9 minute review, having driven it all of 1,000 miles so far. So we're changing it up a little bit of car content. I think this channel is going to be, anything that moves, cars, planes, jets, flying, all that stuff, anything that's interesting to me. And so we had the Durango on this channel, not very much. I didn't use it very much on the channel just because it wasn't very practical. It was my last vehicle. It was a 2021 Durango Hellcat, and it didn't have a lot of room. Didn't get good gas mileage, and 93 octane. It was fast in 0 to 60. After that, it kind of fell flat on its face. So 2023 Yukon AT4, so far, awesome vehicle. I like it. 6.9 out of 9, maybe 8.5. It's a good, practical vehicle. Things I like about it: the avionics package is what I'll call that. Entertainment is all awesome. The radio is pretty cool. It actually pre-records stuff. So when you change radio stations, it actually starts the song wherever it is, which is kind of weird because when you go back and forth between multiple stations, well, you lose that. But like if I switch to turbo here and then some other song, okay, now it's starting at the beginning of the song. Same thing if you call somebody, it'll pause the song, and when you come back, it picks back up. The HUD is very good. The HUD interface, though, it leaves something to be desired. It doesn't give you all the information you need. And what would be nice, again, is not just having a follow distance, but actually having a follow distance that meant something with adaptive cruise, because there's no reason this thing should not have adaptive cruise at this point. This interface is all nice. It has its own data service, which you have to pay for. When you buy the vehicle, you get 3 years and I think 1 terabyte of data, but that comes with Apple CarPlay, comes with Google Maps, so you really don't need CarPlay, but I have it. And then you can do a trailer light test if you'd like. All kind of cool things to have on there, but I really like the menus. The interface here is all very, very nice. Shows you your gas mileage. It's all customizable, which is really good too. You can decide what images you want on this screen. I really like, it's got this button called rear climate on and off, which is great for the dogs, because if they're back there, I hit the button and it's set to what it was last time, which I try to make it as cold as possible because, they're dogs. But if I don't want it on, I just turn it off and I don't have to deal with the noise. This is really nice. I love the top-down view, the backup camera, and it's very smart. It'll switch as soon as I go into drive. So like it gives me this 3D view, and then as soon as I go into drive, now I get the front camera. So very intuitive, very intelligent, and then I can cross-check these two to make sure I'm not gonna hit anything, which makes you a little bit lazy when you do it, because you get used to that sort of thing. Different driving modes are cool. This is normal. It's got a tow haul mode. Go to sport, it stiffens up this transmission because it's got magnetic ride control. It's got an off-road mode, and then it's got a tow haul mode, and then back to normal. 4-wheel drive, standard, auto 4-wheel drive, 2 high, 4 high, and 4 low will get you there. And then if you, while you're driving, if you go to the menu, cameras, you can actually look at the cameras while you're driving, get the different views, stuff like that. So that's all pretty cool. There's a lot of like nuanced features. Like if you get out, it'll say phone left in charger. You know, so it reminds you that the phone. Now I haven't had, so it does have wireless charging. I do have this on the back because it's a magnet for when I'm in my police vehicle. So sometimes it's hard to fish around to actually get it to charge, but I think that's a function of my phone versus this. I like the interior. Sunroof is really cool. A lot of storage space, a lot of space in the back for the dogs. Ride is great. I do like too that you have 4 cup holders. Now 2 of them are for the back, but you can use these 2 for yourself. So it's got a lot of room in the storage. I've already shown the compartment that's underneath here, which I think is really good. Heated seats. Another downside because of the part shortage, you know, I only have 2-way power seats right now, but I also only have cooled seats, but there's no fan. So it will put cold air to the seats. There's just nothing blowing the cold air up to you right now. So that's something, especially in Louisiana, it is nice to have. Gas mileage, yeah, about 16 miles per gallon on the highway. So it's not that much better than the Hellcat was. However, you're running 87 octane versus 93 octane, which obviously is almost $1 a gallon savings. Things I don't like about it, and this is kind of the hits on it. One, auto stop start is the stupidest thing ever. I always try to remember to turn it off. It's a button over here. It's annoying because the first couple times it happened, I thought the thing just died on me. Second thing, lack of adaptive cruise. GM, this is a problem. If a Toyota RAV4 or a base model Toyota 4Runner has adaptive cruise, a $70,000 vehicle or $76,000 vehicle in this case should have adaptive cruise. That is not that cosmic. It shouldn't be limited to only the high country for the Tahoe or the Denali. We should be getting Super Cruise actually by now. I mean, I had adaptive cruise in my previous Yukon Denali back in 2017. So, you know, technology should have moved forward by now, and it should be, I mean, it is noticeably missing, and that's probably the biggest hit. The second one, after about 2 hours, the seats are uncomfortable. I mean, these are really firm seats, and I noticed this going to Eglin a couple weeks ago. It's just really firm seats. I don't know what, the rest is comfortable, and it may be because, you know, it doesn't come, because of all the shortages and manufacturing problems, it doesn't come with the 8-way power seats like it's supposed to. It's only like 4-way or 2-way or something like that. But the seats get really uncomfortable on a long trip. That, to me, you know, it feels firm. You know, your butt gets sore, so to speak. One thing that's interesting is the braking. I've driven the Tahoe with the police pursuit package, the PPV, which has 6-piston Brembo brakes, and then obviously the Durango Hellcat had Brembo brakes. But I don't know if it's just because I'm used to that or if it's just this thing, but it feels like, you know, you have the correct pedal travel and pressure, you just don't have the pedal authority, which, you know, first couple times driving it, you kind of overshoot it a little bit. You know, it doesn't have the braking that you would expect. Now, granted, it's a very heavy vehicle, it's a very large vehicle, but I expected a little bit better in terms of that. So as far as braking, yeah, I think that's probably the negative. The only other negative downside, exterior. It's a beautiful vehicle. The paint, for the most part, is good. However, on this particular vehicle, there's a paint bubble, which is just poor quality workmanship. That's a QC issue. That is just something when whatever the paint shop overspray or whatever, it just doesn't look right. And that's just something you would expect better. Although, you know, GM quality, some people say it's never good, but I just expect better. GM has never been able to do good paint. Even on Corvettes, paint has always been a problem. But otherwise, fit and finish, you know, all the panels match everywhere else. I think it's a really good looking vehicle. I did change the GMC emblem from red to black because I think that looks better, but I think it's a very mean looking, aggressive looking SUV. I think everything is great beyond those things. So like I said, 6.9 out of 8, 6.9 out of 9. I'd say 6.9 out of 9 because, you know, you really want something that's a little bit more comfortable. But overall, I'm really enjoying it, and I think it's a great daily driver, which is really the point because, you know, I've got the ZR1. That's good for going fast, and that's why the Durango never really resonated because, well, if I want to go fast, I'll just take the top off and go drive the Vet and have awesome exhaust noise and a car that can turn versus the Hellcat, which could turn for an SUV, but just didn't have a room. The dogs were always cramped back there. You couldn't really, you know, get around, you know, haul stuff around or anything like that. I will say that it's nice to sit up higher too. You know, you feel like you're in an SUV. It's got a little bit more, you know, command presence and authority. But overall, you know, I enjoy it. And I thought that the 5.3 liter, so this is what I have, it's a 5.3 liter. I thought with 355 horsepower coming from, you know, over 700 that I would feel like, you know, I never had enough power, but honestly, the 10-speed transmission, I had the 10-speed transmission in my Camaro ZL1. It's an awesome transmission. It always keeps it in the power band, so you never feel like you're power deficient. You never feel like it's downshifting to try to catch up or stay, you know, in the power band. So I really think that's a good transmission. It's a good combination that you really don't need unless you're planning on doing some really serious towing. You really don't need the 6.2. However, you know, the 6.2, obviously, if you do get it, you get more horsepower, but you're also going to be running premium octane, which is what my Yukon had. I had the 6.2 in that, and I don't feel like my Yukon Denali, I don't feel like it really, you're missing anything without it. So let me know in the comments what you think about the Yukon AT4. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.